London Travel Guide. London, home to world-class restaurants, an unparalleled music scene, and some seriously rich history. Plus, tea. London is a wonderful city to visit, and with England's fantastic public transportation, it's a breeze to get from point A to point B. You could easily spend a week or more exploring all that each London neighbourhood has to offer, and still have things left over for your next visit. With sights and cultural hubs like the National Portrait Gallery, Trafalgar Square, the Tower of London, Tower Bridge, Kensington Gardens, and all manner of food, drink, shopping, history, and culture, it's no wonder why the Big Smoke is a top travel destination. Best time to go. England experiences relatively mild and somewhat rainy weather year-round, and when you should go depends on what you'd most like to experience. Spring, summer, and fall allow for taking in the parks and getting the most out of how walkable London is, while winter is beautiful and festive for those looking to get their fill of Christmas markets and traditional cheer. Things to know. London is filled with neighbourhoods brimming with great things to do, and England's exceptional public transportation makes it simple and stress-free to travel between them. Londoners, and English people in general, have a much different manner of interacting with one another than Americans do. While an American might think nothing of smiling at a stranger they pass on the sidewalk or asking about work in the first few minutes of a conversation, etiquette in London errs on the more private, respectful, and more distant. Don't mistake this for aloofness or consider those you meet unfriendly, it's just a difference in cultural norms. Instead, talk about things like movies, TV shows, books, your travels, and the like, instead of work or family. A fun, and somewhat reassuring fact, London has much better takeaway sandwiches than the US does. If your day is too packed to have a sit-down lunch, a sandwich from a chain will be legitimately delicious. Most importantly, all British museums are free, meaning anyone can wander to their heart's content no matter their budget. How to get around. Getting around London is unbelievably easy thanks to the well-maintained and extensive Underground, also known as the Tube. The Underground, unlike American transportation systems which often pay per ride or pay per length of trip, are paid in zones. Fare also varies based on time of day and the method you use to pay. It's worth getting an Oyster card, the Underground's Metro card or Smart Trip card, to make your life that much simpler. There are 11 Underground lines servicing all 9 zones. Maps of these zones are in every tube station. Most of the popular sites in London are in Zone 1, which covers central London. The tube runs daily from 5 AM to midnight and with reduced hours on Sunday. Some late-night services are available on the weekend, but generally, you will want to be prepared to take one of the easily found London taxis or use a rideshare app if you're out and about after midnight. Best 5 hotels suggested by Travelliner. 1. The Savoy. Address, Strand, London. The only luxury hotel on the River Thames, the Savoy is a 5-star experience known worldwide for its luxurious and beautiful accommodations. As the first hotel built for the purpose of being a luxe hotel in all of London, it has a rich and storied history. Seeing its beautiful architecture and dramatic decor is worth doing even if you don't end up staying here. 2. The Connaught. Address, Carlos Place, Mayfair, London. The Connaught has known a few names and owners over the course of its 205-year history, but its main through line has always been luxury. Chef Alain Rose runs a restaurant with the distinction of 2 Michelin stars, and the bar was awarded Europe's Best in 2019. For a spectacular experience in the heart of London, the Connaught can't be beat. 3. The Ned. Address, 27 Poultry, London. Once an abandoned bank building, the Ned found new life in 2012 as a 5-star luxury hotel. Outfitted in a style reminiscent of the 1920s, and with 10 restaurants under its roof, the Ned is an experience unto itself, much less a great retreat from your London adventure. In addition, the Ned features a spa with treatments from massages to vitamin 4 drips. Trendier than other 5-star hotels, but certainly with style, the Ned is a great choice for a young couple or friends traveling in style. 4. Chiltern Firehouse. Address, 1 Chiltern Street, London. Originally a fire station, the Chiltern Firehouse is small and cozy. Each of the 26 rooms feature at least one working fireplace, and range from standard rooms to lofts and suites. The Chiltern Firehouse restaurant is a Michelin-starred eatery with seasonal offerings. A unique and domestic experience, the Chiltern Firehouse truly does feel like a home away from home. 5. The Goring. Address, 15 Beeston Place, London. The Goring is a century-old, family-owned luxury hotel with 69 uniquely decorated rooms. Along the same road as Buckingham Palace, the Goring is the last word in having a truly royal stay. The Goring offers an excellent restaurant and bar, and several packages that let you tailor your trip to exactly what makes you happiest. Best 5 restaurants suggested by Traveliner. 1. Singbury. Address, 593 High Road, Leytonstone, London. Singbury is a gem of a Thai restaurant, beloved for its rotating menu of delicious and authentic curries, noodles, and seafood. Try something new here. Don't stick to your usual takeout pad thai order, as delicious as pad thai is. A crispy omelette, like their delectable kai jo, a crispy omelette with oysters, should do the trick. 2. The Palomar. Address, 34 Rupert Street, Soho, London. The Palomar is walking distance from Trafalgar Square and some of the most enjoyable museum going in London, so chances are you'll have the opportunity to enjoy their modern-day Jerusalem menu in a beautiful, mosaic-scattered space. Try the octopus glazed with harissa oil, or the Bait al-Makdi's chicken just for the artichoke crisps. 3. Noble Rot. Address, 51 Lambs Conduit Street, Holborn, London. A seasonal wine bar with a classic British menu, this flashy restaurant puts the British food is boring rumour to rest. There's a wine for every dish, and more. Their list is outstanding, and the bold and unique twists on classic British dishes make this a must-taste spot even for folks for which, gasp, wine isn't that exciting. 4. Parsons. Address, 39 Endell Street, West End, London. A small, sustainable seafood restaurant in Covent Garden, Parsons has an unpretentious, always fresh menu. Parsons has mastered the art of updating classic British flavours, like smoked eel, for the modern palate. Their fish pie is heavenly, and you'd be remiss not to enjoy a sticky toffee pudding if you've got room for it. 5. Roti King. Address, 40 Doric Way, Somers Town, London. Roti King is in a basement. This is just something to know, because otherwise it might be a touch difficult to find. Hidden gem isn't a metaphor here. You're going to have some of the best Malaysian food you've had in some time, possibly ever. If you're having trouble finding the entrance, just look for the line. There's almost always at least a short one of people waiting for their chicken murtabak and char kway teow. Best 3 shopping places suggested by Travel Liner. 1. Covent Garden. Address, 14 James Street, London. Covent Garden is both a neighbourhood and a famed market, first established in 1694. The centre is the beautiful piazza, where walking is made easier and more pleasant by the lack of cars. In addition to an array of unique shops, Covent Garden is home to the London Transport Museum, St Paul's Cathedral, and several high-end restaurants. 2. Foyles. Address, 107 Charing Cross Road, Soho, London. There are a few equally convenient locations for famed, enormous bookstore Foyles, but the flagship, and most impressive, store is in Soho, at Charing Cross. Even folks who wouldn't describe themselves as readers travel to visit Foyles for the sheer scale of it, including the gorgeous architecture and the vast collection of books. 3. Camden Market. Address, Camden Lock Place, London. Camden Market was established in 1791 and has been charming London and travellers ever since. Near enough to Regent's Park and the London Zoo to walk, Camden Market is full of shops, cafes, nightlife, and live music. Weather in London. On one hand, the weather in London does not tend to fluctuate between highs and lows, no matter the season. On the other, it rains in London, a lot. About 9 to 10 days a month on average. No matter when you go, pack some waterproof layers, odds are you'll be glad you brought them. Spring in London, and England as a whole, is beautiful. London is a very green city, and spring brings the parks and gardens to blooming, fragrant life. Early spring can be a little chilly, but it might be worth going then to beat the tourist boom from late spring through summer. Summer in England is mild and lovely, and London is no exception. Temperatures rarely climb above 75 degrees Fahrenheit. For this reason, it is by far the most popular season for travel, and hotel and flight prices tend to reflect that. However, it's also inherently a bit more lively, with a lot going on. Again, fall is temperate, with a little more rain than summer. If you want to beat the summer rush but still want warmer weather, you might want to wait until fall for your trip. Winter can get cold, but not bitterly so. Average temperatures rarely fall below 30 degrees Fahrenheit. England is big on Christmas, and holiday markets and cheer abound. If you love the winter holidays, London might be a perfect choice for you. It's hard not to feel festive in the land of A Christmas Carol.